Why are you here?
Hello.
Hello. Why are you here?
I'm here to talk about Delouvin's Meunier Perpetuel.
What is it?
It is a champagne.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you'd get that. And it's
Well,
a blend of a Perpetual Reserve of pure Meunier going back to 1992.
And could you explain Perpetual Reserve?
A Perpetual Reserve is something that most champagne producers have. It's a big tank where each year they add some wine to the liquid and take some out to make it. Usually it's put into the non-vintage blend or to one of their other cuvées, but this is quite rare. It's only the Perpetual Reserve and it's only pure Meunier. Started in 1992. I was just over there a couple of weeks ago, and Jeff actually told me that it was started a little bit earlier than that, but he doesn't have details about the particular age. But
I thought the French were supposed to be very good at keeping records.
oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Jeff's just one of those peculiar ones.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And so, what does this Perpetual Reserve give it? I mean, what's your take on it? I mean, you know more about champagne than pretty much anybody in the world. Ever.
So, for me, I think the Perpetual Reserve brings lots of things. The two main components is complexity, brought on by multiple years going into the blend, but also it brings freshness.
Yeah.
So it's that weird blend of complexity and freshness coming through, and I think you get that in this wine.
Yeah.
It's juicy, it's complex.
You get that richness, you get that sort of soft, rounder, oxidized elements, but then you also get this really sort of light, bright.
Yeah, exactly. Prickly and saline and fresh and tense.
Yeah. Because when I first tried this, which was, I think you're out of frame, so swidging a bit, cuddle. She hates the word cuddle. Miller's behind the camera and she really is making faces while
a great word.
Eating her yogurt. She's got some issue with it about, it being too intimate. But,
It's not a hug. You say, come here for a cuddle. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous depending on who you say it to.
Come here for a cuddle.
Yeah.
Are you a grandma? No.
Okay.
She's foreign.
Yeah.
But when I first tried this, it doesn't taste like it, but what it reminded me of was when we were at your 30th birthday and we tried the Esprit de Siècle, which had that
multi-layered.
I mean, that was an exaggerated version of it. It had really oxidized old elements, and then it had that brighter, fresher, zippier from the younger wines. But although it doesn't taste anything like that, it has that same sort of old and young thing going on. It's that beautiful marriage of the two.
No, I think so. And what's great about it and what makes it so unique is the fact that it's a Perpetual Reserve made purely of Meunier and released as a single cuvee. There is maybe one other in the whole of Champagne that's made from a single Perpetual Reserve of pure Meunier.
Okay. And what's the? I mean, so the majority of champagnes are a blend of different ages of wine, non-vintage wines.
Yes.
So how does that differ from this? Is it just that marrying element between the wines in the same vessel? I mean, what's the main
the main difference really between a standard non-vintage is that a non-vintage will likely be somewhere between 50 to 90%, if not even more, one vintage.
Yeah.
So it'll be the base vintage, let's say 2023 or whatever the base vintage is, and it will have a small proportion between 5 and 40, 50% of reserve wines or a single vintage, so it will have a little bit of last year or whatever it will be. The difference here is this doesn't have a base vintage.
Yeah.
The youngest wine will be, in this particular iteration, is 2020, and it's on the back label, 2020, but that will only represent about 25-30% of the cuvee. Okay. The rest is reserve wines going back to 1992.
All marrying together, sort of merging, sort of evolving as it goes along.
And also the other way to think about it as well is how they construct the cuvee. So you with a normal non-vintage, you'll have a base vintage, and then you'll blend in after that the non-vintage. The difference here is that the base vintage is put in, and then the base vintage stays in the vessel for a year, and then it's extracted to make this blend. So the base vintage integrates with the blend.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wonderful. Well, it's a delicious wine. We've got it on a promotion. We're undercutting his website as well, which is great. So it's down to I think 40 quid a bottle. Yeah, it's brilliant. If you like a sort of richer style of champagne, this is a absolutely delightful wine. We all love it. So thank you for coming along. You sell cider. Promote your cider.
I make cider.
There you go.
It's delicious.
Have a good day. Bye.